Hey guys, Joel's coming at you with another reasoning session where I challenge the status quo of the wisdom of the world and the church. And today I'm going to be talking about people who put on a front where outside they might look good, but inside they're rotten as
Come now and let us reason together. Come now, we can talk it over.
But if you like these videos, give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe for more like content. I make videos like this all the time, sharing insight and practical ways of how we can apply the ancient scriptures to our present circumstances. There's also links to some other platforms I post on, just because YouTube has played games with capping subscriber counts, deleting comments, shadow banning, and all that junk. But it doesn't matter what they do, because this message is getting out. It is reaching people, no matter what big tech and these other agents of Babylon are trying to pull off in this day and age with censorship and other things. This agenda of fear has already been cut off at the root, and we, as agents in place for the kingdom of heaven, are rising up and taking our position in bringing to pass this new earth reality. But with that out of the way, I'm just going to jump right into it, reading passages from the Evangelion of Matthew, or Matthew in the English. And here Jesus is just ousting the Pharisees, which are the religious institution of his day. You know, today this would probably be like mega churches and all that stuff. He just goes off on them and says, "You blind guides, which strain a gnat and swallow a camel." This refers to the law of Moses, where they're not supposed to eat unclean insects, so they would strain their wine to make sure they're not getting this. But he's saying you swallow a camel, which is another unclean animal. Of course, this is not a literal camel, but it's symbolic, because he says, "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you make clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess." You know, the vessels are your own physical body here. You blind Pharisee, clean first that which is within the cup and platter, that the outside of them may be clean also. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you are like unto whited sepulchres, or whitewashed tombs, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones, and of all uncleanness. Even so, you also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within you are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. You know, and then he just goes off. Fill you up then the measure of your fathers. You serpents, you generation of vipers. Is that an allusion to reptilians or spawn of Satan? Maybe. At the very least, it's saying vipers being the beasts that have venom in their bite. And that's the words they speak. We're looking at that now with the double speak and the media. Okay, I won't get into that in this episode. But he says, how can you escape the damnation of hell? You know, in another place he says, it's not that which goes into the mouth that defiles a man, but that which comes out of the mouth. This defiles a man. So you can keep a good diet. It's not to say don't eat a good diet. But if you're doing all of that and you're still hating people and lashing out in anger, you know, your diet hasn't done anything for you. Make sure you align the two. And when your inside is clean, then all the other stuff will follow. Right after he said that, his disciples came to him and said, "Know you that the Pharisees were offended after they heard this saying?" Of course, they were the ones to be offended, right? But Jesus answered and said, "Every plant which my heavenly Father has not planted shall be rooted up. And this is the time of the great uprooting. Let them alone. They are blind leaders of the blind." Talking in our present day about, you know, the media and all these other institutions, including the religious institutions that we see. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. You know, it's true that he says in another passage that out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth proceeds. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart brings forth good things, and an evil man out of the evil treasure brings forth evil things. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. So nothing goes unrecorded, unaccounted for, and unheard of by source. Literally everything we do, every action we take, and every word we speak are seeds being sown, and that harvest is inevitable. That harvest will come to us, no matter how superficial we think that those actions are. And he finishes the statement by saying, "For by your words you shall be justified, and by your words you shall be condemned." So we want to make sure that our inside is right and in tune and not in disagreement with the outward appearance that we're portraying. Yes, we want to look good on the outside, but is our heart in the right place? Because you can keep all these outward acts and put on a show, but if inside you're lusting, if inside you're full of hatred towards people, even you can smile at them and put on a nice front and converse with them, but inside, you're just seething with rage. That's not the place where Source can actually manifest a pure harvest for you. That harvest that you're sowing will always be tainted by what's inside your heart. So get that right first, and from there we can actually manifest that utopia. Otherwise, what we manifest will be far from that utopia, no matter how it seems from the outside, no matter how good the outward appearance looks like we're sowing in line with that dream life reality. We have to be the judges of our own heart and make sure that we're not hiding any evil, any discord, any of that stuff. And it's only then that we can actually move forward as the beings whom we've come here to be and embody the destiny that we know we're deserving of. We know we're here to live our best life yet. And so all these temptations and distractions should not be holding us back and cutting us off from that full potential we have in Source. So I hope that's something to think about. I know it's hard work. I'm preaching to myself here, but we're all in this together, and we all have to literally change our lives and move forward if we're going to experience that potential. So with that being said, I'm going to sign out here. I've got a lot of work going on, and I am going to think about changing up these videos, maybe incorporate some studies, and maybe get really in depth here, because literally as I raise my vibration, this stuff is just beaming towards me and accelerating not just my learning curve of this subject matter, but literally my own life forward exponentially like never before, like I've never even dreamed possible. So with that being said, I'm gonna get going. I'll check you in the next reasoning sesh. Joel signing out once again. Agape, Salaam, Namaste, Shalom.